Hello and welcome to Plain Speak. I'm Anusha Soni. Delhi is literally a gas chamber. The air emergency is truly a problem of the north of the country, but no other city is as adversely affected as the national capital, owing to its peculiar geography. Well, a few years ago, some toddlers had moved the Supreme Court of India, seeking their right to breathe, their right to life. And the Supreme Court imposed a cracker ban, banned the entry of trucks, set up a special panel to deal with pollution crisis. In all these years, if you do away with the judicial intervention, there's very little that the governments have done to control air pollution from the policy point of view. In fact, India doesn't have any specific policy to deal with this menace. It is not a political statement to assert that stubble burning in Punjab is making living in Delhi completely impossible. Well, not that the national capital had great air quality days, but the stubble burning has made it all the more worse. What makes it further bad is that roughly out of the 24,000 farm fires recorded in Punjab so far, about 6,300 have been recorded just in the last 2 days. This explains the thick smog that engulfs the national capital. One cannot simply dismiss the political statements as mere bickering. Seeking political accountability is the beginning point for us to have the right policies in place. Tonight on Plain Speak, we ask on behalf of millions of people who are breathing this poison, when will this suffering end? When will we have a policy in place to deal with this menace? Well, Delhi's air emergency, when will the suffering stop? The suffering will stop when our netas will have long-term policy solutions in place instead of the political bickering that is served to the citizens each and every year. We ask questions to all the political parties concerned here, including the Congress, the BJP and the Aam Aadmi Party, as to what is being done in the long term. The farm fires is an issue in particular states of Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh, but more so in the states of Punjab and Haryana, which leads to this crisis in the national capital year by year. Well, first let's tell you about what are the steps that have been taken by the Air Quality Control Management Authority. It's a central government body that makes these recommendations. There is a graded response action plan which is kicked in each time the AQI goes to a certain level. Right now, over 400, very severe category. This is what the Delhi government has announced and this is what the panel has said. The entry of trucks into the national capital has been prohibited. It's one of the steps that was recommended by a special panel that was formed. Now, the entry of trucks, other than that, about 3 lakh diesel light motor vehicles are banned BS6. If you're BS6, you're non-compliant and hence you cannot. Industries using non-clean fuels have been ordered to shut. These are local sources of pollution here in the national capital. Construction and demolition work, that has been stopped, which leads to a lot of particulate matter here in the national capital. All primary schools in Delhi have been shut. They can go to the online mode, but children continue to breathe this toxic air. They might not be going outdoors as much. Noida schools from classes 1 to 8 go online. Many schools in Noida will go online and, they're trying to in some way limit the exposure of children to this toxic air, while most children will still be breathing this toxic air. But what is the source of this pollution? Delhi, as I said, in most part of the year, 365 days out of 360, roughly 363 days, it never has clean air. The air quality is always a problem. But what is it that makes these few weeks post-Diwali completely unsustainable? It is the farm fires. There are 2 states which we have to primarily look at to understand the data. First, let's talk about the state of Haryana. These numbers we have got from the Haryana Agriculture and Farmers Welfare Department, also reported by various leading dailies. The state of Haryana, in all fairness, the numbers tell us this story, has been able to control the issue of stubble burning to a great extent. These are the instances of farm fires. Look at the number. In 2016, from over 15,600, that number has rapidly come down to about 2,377. That is not a conclusive number because we are still in the season of stubble burning, so it is likely to go up. But look at that, 2020, 4,202, 2021, 6,987. But compared to the last few years, this has drastically gone down, and there is some work that has been put by the state of Haryana. Now, how does that really translate? 30% drop year-on-a-year basis, 55% drop in the last 6 years. That is how long-term policies really translate on the ground. The story is drastically different for the state of Punjab. Look at these numbers. Now, from 2016, it was about 81,000 over that. That number stands in 2021 to over 71,304. Right now, it's about 2,400, 166. But as I said earlier, for Haryana as well, this is likely to go up. If you compare September to November data, which is usually the data which has been put out, the number of farm fires has actually increased in the state of Punjab by roughly 30%, and this will go up. And out of this 24,000, roughly 6,000, which make up about 30% of it, have been witnessed in the last 2 to 3 days. That explains the toxic chamber here in the national capital where we are living. So it is not a political statement to say that Punjab fires are leading to this crisis in Delhi, which already has a huge issue with the air quality. How does that translate into numbers? Let's look at Punjab's number when it comes on a year-on-year basis, and how has that really translated in terms of the data. As I said earlier, there is about a 30% increase that has happened in the state of Punjab if you look at the data which has really come in. So as I asked earlier, what exactly is it that people need to do, our politicians need to do in order to ensure that the suffering ends? That's the question we asked tonight. Well, joining us on the broadcast is Harish Khurana of the Delhi BJP, Dr. Mohsin Wali, who's a cardiologist and also a Padma Shri awardee, Mr. Vimlendu Jha, who's an environmentalist, is joining us on the broadcast. Chaudhry Pushpendra Singh, who's the president of Kisan Shakti Sangh, is also with us on the show. We are also expecting somebody from the Aam Aadmi Party to join us on the broadcast. Let's see if they agree to be a part of the show or not. Dr. Wali, I'm coming to you first. I want a perspective in terms of the air that we are breathing right now. What does it mean for healthy adults? What does it mean for children living in the National Capital Region?
Yes, when you were describing your commentary, you said a big word, right policies in place. So if we don't have them, then our children suffer. Newborns, these are three main categories which suffer. One is newborns, second is pregnant mothers, and third is elderly people. And there is, of course, that universal category of people having certain diseases, lung diseases, asthma, hypertension, cardiac diseases, coronary artery disease, heart patients, heart attack patients, patients who are immunocompromised. So maximal load falls on these patients. And this air goes into our rooms, then it goes into our lungs. And lungs suffer because they are communicating with the outer part of the world. This said, one side, then there is further damage. These years we have been going through COVID suffering, and there are a number of people who do not even know that they have suffered from COVID, and they suffered either mild COVID or moderate COVID, and they recovered. They do not even know that. So population has been suffering. A great number of population has been suffering from COVID in the past 2 years. Now the brunt of this pollution, if you compare with the previous years, will be much more than those who have not suffered with COVID. That is a normal population. So we are adding to the risk through those patients who had suffered from COVID. So this all is now also affecting on oxygen saturation. The patients are requiring more medication for asthma. The blood pressures are shooting up. Young girl of 34 working in one bank called me yesterday, her blood pressure shot up to 240 by 120 for no reason. This is what is happening. Patients normally do not require so much increase in medication. In winters, we normally increase and augment the medication for high blood pressure. What I am seeing this year is they are almost getting double the dose and still their blood pressures are sometimes very high. So
Well,
this, and then asthmatic patients. Just now, a colleague of yours had been calling from hospital, and her mother is down. She's on BiPAP. She just walked in the hospital, and suddenly she had the effect of bad air quality, and she's now on BiPAP machine.
well, Dr. Wali, I can
So
tell you
this
that I
is
had my
of course
parents here in
elderly.
Delhi and I made
Yeah,
sure that,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
just a week before Diwali, they leave the city. I didn't want them to be exposed to this toxic air, and they both are patients of blood pressure and diabetes. And as you said, the patients face far worse symptoms and the symptoms of their disease, whatever they're suffering from.
One point I will add to this.
Yes,
We
yes.
have been talking about PM 2.5 and counting it, and you have been showing how drastically the graph is going up. All the newspapers showing graphs like PM 2.5. But there is one point addition to this also, PM 1,
Yeah.
which is a very small and ready to go in the lungs particle, very small size, and that we are not talking. Probably that is more hazardous. And that comes from tires, airport landings and takeoffs, vehicular tires when they move on the road. This is apart from the diesel pollution what we are talking.
Well, sir,
jet
this
set
is the
pollution,
reality
what
of
we
the
are
urban
talking.
living
Yeah.
where we are right now
Yes.
and of the national capital, which is one of the worst polluted cities, at least at this point in time, if you look at the AQI levels. Mr. Harish Khurana, I'm coming to you. And I'm talking with the help of numbers, and I have no hesitation in saying that if you look at the numbers, the state of Haryana has done its bit in terms of controlling the farm fires. There's much more that needs to be done. But when it comes to Punjab and the national capital, what we are witnessing right now, it's a routine. It's a routine which leads us to this toxic hell and the poison that we continue to breathe in. What are the questions that you're raising? And also, as the union government of the day, is there something that can be done at the central level to ensure that things fall in place, things are in order?
See, when I'm talking to you, the AQI level is 654. It is hazardous. It's in a hazardous range, and we are living in a gas chamber actually. But unfortunately, till last year, Delhi government led by Arvind Kejriwal used to say stubble burning in Punjab is a key problem which is coming in for Delhi. But this year, he's not talking about it. Last year, he was speaking about that he has made a goal, a capsule for removing this Parali problem. But what about this year? Where is that goal has gone? If that is so successful, why he has not given to Punjab for that distribution in the paddy lands? Why they have not done it? So my point is, every year, this is yearly. We talk every year. This point of time, this has become a scenario, regular scenario now. But where is the short-term plan? Where is the long-term plan? And where is the mid-term plan? We all know, Parali stubble burning is a key constraint on this point of time. But every year, the balanced months, we used to live in, because of the weaker emission, we used to still live in bad toxic airs.
Yeah.
But where is the public transport system in Delhi? Only 300 buses have been introduced, of electronic buses, which has been given by central government, not procured by Delhi government, but given by central government only. And
No.
when you say what
Mr. Khurana, I began by saying that the state of Haryana has done its job. CAQM, which declared the stage 4 norms today, is actually a union government body which has done it for the national capital region, the kind of norms that we're witnessing. So not that I'm taking away from what has already been done. But that being said, for a country like India, especially the north of the country, it's not just Delhi. The AQI in multiple districts of Punjab is also in a severe category, in a very unhealthy category. Those numbers are also reported in multiple newspapers today. If you look at Rajasthan, even parts of Rajasthan, parts of Uttar Pradesh, Haryana are affected. This is a problem beyond Delhi that needs to be addressed perhaps by the union government. I am not taking away from the fact that environment is a state subject, law and order is a state subject, but when it comes to having a policy that can be followed by multiple states in the country, perhaps the union government needs to step in. Mr. Khurana.
Yes, I agree with you, and I think central government is doing a lot what they can do. They have given whatever the money they were demanded by the different state governments. Like, for example, in Punjab, in last 5 years, 1,376 crore has been given for stubble burning, stoppage of stubble burning. We have given that. Like 300 buses, electronic buses, has been given to Delhi government, and 1,000 buses will be coming in next 2 years by the central government only. So central government is helping out. But the problem over here is we need a visionary chief minister in Delhi, especially when you talk about vision, what will happen 10 years before. I'll give you a small example. A BJP government was there in 1993. Mr. Khurana, who was chief minister, who thought about Delhi Metro at that point of time, which was been taken by Congress government after that. Imagine if today the metro was not been there in Delhi, what would happen to our transport system? Same with Sheila Dikshit ji. Sheila Dikshit ji has introduced flyovers in Delhi. Imagine if flyover not been there, what would happen to the pollution level where pollution has gone down? Problem is we need a visionary chief minister as well as in Delhi, as well as in Punjab also.
No, but Mr. Khurana,
After
you did not
20
answer my
years-
question. I asked you a question. You're right, we need visionary chief ministers. I agree that we need leaders who can see 20, 30 years of their time and plan policies for the citizenry. But at this point in time, when we face this crisis, what is it that the union government can do more? We tried the Aam Aadmi Party. We wanted the Aam Aadmi Party to be a part of this panel discussion. They refused to be a part of this discussion. So hence, I'm taking this question up with you.
I told you what central government is helping out. Like, for example, giving them the funds, having a meeting with them. I'll give you a small example. On 29th of September, Bhupender Yadav, who is the environment minister of center, has called all the party, all the state environment ministers over there.
Is it time to have a white paper? Is it time to have, a special group that can look at it?
Please listen to me. Please listen to me 10 more seconds.
Yes.
So they have asked a detailed plan. Please give us a detailed plan, whatever support you want from central government and what the state government is doing. I'll give you the actual fact. Only Punjab and Delhi government has not given the detailed plan of that. Haryana government has given, UP government has given, Rajasthan government has given, but not Delhi government and Punjab government.
All right, I want to bring in Vimlendu Jha also into the discussion. Vimlendu, if you look at the numbers of Punjab and Haryana, these numbers conclusively prove that Haryana has done something right, for which due credit should be given. Why is it that this problem is so persistent in Punjab? I mean, in all fairness, the Aam Aadmi Party has been elected to power very recently. So would it be correct to say that the erstwhile governments did nothing? Or is it more to do with the kind of farming that we see in Punjab?
So indeed, Haryana government has done much better. And it's going to get better in coming years. At the same time, what your question was that whether we need agricultural reforms, and the answer to that is yes. We cannot have solution to stubble burning, the same way as we were looking at creating these smog towers that don't really work in that sense.
Yeah.
When we look at agriculture, when we look at farming, when we look at stubble, we'll have to look at what are the other opportunities that are available. Stubble burning, for example, it only pollutes Delhi's air. The contribution of stubble burning to overall ambient air quality of Delhi is for around 40 to 45 days, and that ranges from 1% to 40%. So today, for example, it's around 30% in that sense. But imagine on November 20th, air will still be bad. Delhi's air quality, average air quality of Delhi is somewhere around 220 throughout the year. So what you were talking about earlier as well, that Delhi is polluted throughout the year. Punjab indeed,
so Vimlendu, it's correct to say that we also, people living in Delhi, including me, don't make noise till we can actually see the smog. That okay, it's out here to kill us. And most of the year,
Absolutely.
if the AQI is about 220, we have accepted it that that's how we're going to live.
Exactly. So this is a new normal right now. Imagine air quality is 600, but markets are open, things are the same. And that is what is very, very disturbing. That imagine cities shut down, cities are evacuated when air quality index reaches 200, 250.
Yeah.
And here we are just discussing the problem. Our political class, all these debates that you've been doing, I've been doing last 10 days, we don't see an iota of acceptance of a problem and resolve to solve this. And my problem is indeed with Aam Aadmi Party and Arvind Kejriwal's government and Bhagwant Man's government in terms of really not showing any sort of a political intent. But at the same time, for a problem of this magnitude, for a problem that actually kills 16 lakh people every year, for the problem of a public health emergency when the entire Delhi has become a gas chamber for almost a week, the absolute pin drop silence and inaction from the Prime Minister's office or from the central government is also a little very, very disturbing.
What will you have the central government do? What would you have the central government do? Vimlendu, coming to the
everything. The fact is that if it's yes, so I will tell you the substance of it. Like when COVID happened, central government did not wait for respective state governments to really act on it. It really brought everyone together and said these are the measures. So right now,
because the disaster
indeed,
management
if state
act
governments
was
are not able to do So this, can there be more disastrous than this?
Yeah.
Can there be anything more killing than 700, 800, 900 AQI? And therefore, why are we not thinking that, why aren't we pressing that emergency button for a situation like this when most of the hospitals in Delhi NCR, are inundated with patients, children, normal people, elderly. So there cannot be bigger emergency than this. So therefore, let's not even say that, oh, well, no, it's not COVID. It is bad than COVID. It kills more than COVID. Here, in terms, it's not just about resource. If, say, for example, we know that there is irresponsible and irresponsive understanding of the situation by Aam Aadmi Party, and truly so, that they've just not been doing enough, or what is in their command. All these years, they were actually blaming the farmers squarely and not doing what they can, as in 50% of Delhi's pollution is vehicular, and perhaps they could have actually bought more buses or more road cleaners, or work on
we also have Chaudhary
But
Pushpendra
here,
Singh, who's
central
a
government will have to
farmers
put
leader,
funds
with us
together.
into the discussion, and I want you to pose a question to him as well. In your learned opinion, as an environmentalist, what is it that the farmers can do?
See, farmers right now, of course, this season is over. Now we only have to prepare for next season. And we know the reason why the farmers burn stubble, or this stubble became a crisis, is because of, many years ago, to solve the water crisis, we started, we created an air crisis. So we will have to look at crop rotation. We will have to look at, can we get rid of चावल की खेती से हम बाहर निकल सकते हैं क्या? तो उसके लिए सरकारों को भी आगे आना पड़ेगा कि एमएसपी क्या करे। तो किसानों को इससे नुकसान है तीन तरह का। एक तो पानी का नुकसान है, जो किसानों को भी पता है, हवा का नुकसान है, जो भी किसानों को पता है, और तीसरा जो पेस्टिसाइड्स एंड फर्टिलाइजर्स है, कैंसर का जो हब बन गया है पंजाब और हरियाणा, ये भी नुकसान है। तो इसमें फायदा इनका,
चौधरी साहब, अभी पंजाब में कुछ समय पहले, अभी कुछ दिनों पहले की बात है, क्या 2 दिन पहले की, फायर ब्रिगेड की गाड़ी जा रही थी, वो पराली की आग को बुझाना चाह रही थी। कुछ किसान आए, उनको रोक लिया, कुछ गुंडागर्दी भी देखी गई वहां पे। जो अधिकारी थे उनको उनका काम नहीं करने दिया। यहाँ पे डेटा है जो दिखाता है कि पंजाब में जो पराली जलाने की समस्या है वो बस बढ़ी है। किसान समाज क्या कर सकता है इस पूरी दिक्कत के लिए? क्योंकि सिर्फ दिल्ली नहीं, पंजाब के भी बहुत सारे डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स, और वो डिस्ट्रिक्ट जहां पे पराली जलाई जा रही है वहां पे भी एयर क्वालिटी को लेकर एक बहुत बड़ी समस्या खड़ी हो चुकी है। चौधरी साहब
जी, देखिए, मैं सारी समस्या को पर्सपेक्टिव में रख देता हूं। 2009 में पंजाब और हरियाणा सरकार सबसॉइल वाटर कंजर्वेशन एक्ट लाई थी, जिसकी वजह से इन्होंने जो फसल की प्लांटेशन है पैडी की, उसको 2-3 वीक डिले कर दिया। जो हमारी 31 मई के आसपास हो जाती थी, वो 10 जून 15 जून के बाद कर दी। अब जब 31 मई को आपकी प्लांटेशन होगी तो वो समय से जो है 30 अक्टूबर के आसपास 31 अक्टूबर तक कट जाती है, और उसको काटने के लिए सफिशिएंट मजदूर भी उस वक्त हमें 1-1.5 महीने का समय, क्योंकि अगली फसल भी हमें बोनी है नवंबर में गेहूं की, तो उसमें हमें समय मिल जाता था। अब इसको जब आपने प्लांटेशन डिले की तो उसी हिसाब से कटाई भी डिले हो रही है, और जब कटाई डिले होगी तो अगला फसल बोने के लिए हमारे पास बहुत छोटा विंडो बचता है, करीब 2 हफ्ते 3 हफ्ते का। पहले हमारे पास 1-1.5 महीना बचता था, तो 1.5 महीने में आपके पास मजदूर उपलब्ध होते थे। इसकी समस्या बहुत सिंपल तरीके से इसका हल है, ना तो इसकी मशीनों में हल है, ना बायो डिकम्पोजर में हल है। वेस्टर्न यूपी में स्वयं हमारे गांव में इसकी कटाई जो है हाथ से की जाती है। जब हाथ से इसको काटते हैं तो वो नीचे से कट जाता है, और उसके बाद जो है स्टबल बचती ही नहीं है खेत के अंदर, तो स्टबल बर्निंग का कहीं सवाल नहीं उठता। हाथ से काटने के लिए आपको मजदूर चाहिए, क्योंकि आपने विंडो कम कर दी है, तो उस वक्त तत्काल इतने ज्यादा मजदूर नहीं होते हैं उपलब्ध, क्योंकि 1-1.5 महीने में तो वही मजदूर इस खेत को काटेगा, कल दूसरे को काटेगा, परसों तीसरे को काटेगा, तो वो मैनेज हो सकता है।
देखिए चौधरी साहब, मेरा सवाल पूछने का पूरा आशय, मेरा सवाल पूछने का पूरा आशय किसानों को ब्लेम करने का नहीं है, लेकिन अगर पंजाब जैसे राज्य की बात करें, जहां पर मोस्टली जो किसान हैं वो समृद्ध किसान हैं, वो बड़ी खेत है उनके पास रिसोर्सेज हैं, एवेन्यूज हैं, क्या किसान समुदाय को भी आगे आकर ये पराली जलाने की जो पूरी समस्या है इसकी तरफ अपना रवैया बदलना चाहिए? सरकारों को जो करना चाहिए वो अपनी जगह है, ये सारे सवाल हम हरियाणा, पंजाब और केंद्र सरकार से भी पूछ रहे हैं, लेकिन कहीं ना कहीं किसान का जो वर्ग है, जिसको अन्नदाता माना जाता है, अगर एक इतनी बड़ी समस्या खड़ी हो रही है तो इंट्रोस्पेक्शन की, मंथन की तो जरूरत है वहां पर। चौधरी साहब
नहीं, मेरी बात पूरी सुनेंगे आप तो क्लियर हो जाएगा।
मैं समझ रही हूँ।
देखिए, जब आपने मुझे डिले कर दिया
जी, आप बोलिए अपनी बात खत्म
एक मिनट मुझे पूरी करनी दीजिए। जब आपने ये कहा कि जो काम मैं 1.5 महीने में कर सकता हूं, आपने कहा नहीं वो आपका काम 15 दिन में करना है, आपने डिले कर दिया उसको। आपकी इंटेंशन ठीक थी कि आप सब सॉइल वाटर भी बचाना चाहते थे, बहुत अच्छी बात है, लेकिन उसकी वजह से एक दूसरी समस्या खड़ी हो गई। वैसे जो स्टैटिस्टिक्स है, सारे अखबार आप पढ़ेंगे तो उसमें बहुत स्पष्ट है कि ये समस्या ऑन एन एवरेज 30, 35, 40 दिन तक 25% कंट्रीब्यूशन जो है पराली का रहता है। बाकी स्थानीय प्रदूषण यहाँ ज्यादा है, कंस्ट्रक्शन का हो, रोड ट्रैफिक का हो, या और चीजें हो जो दिल्ली का है।
25-35%
तो मेरा कहना ये है कि ये भी नहीं होना चाहिए।
को गैस चेंबर बना देता है। यहाँ पर सिचुएशन बहुत खराब है। नहीं, मैं आपकी बात समझ रही हूँ। मैं हरीश खुराना जी के पास वापस जाना चाहती हूँ। हरीश जी, कुछ आर्ग्यूमेंट्स हैं जो चौधरी साहब ने करे। उन्होंने बोला कि जिस तरह से खेती हो रही है, जिस तरह से एक फसल से दूसरी फसल के बीच में जो समय होता था वो समय चला गया है। सरकारों को जिस तरह से मदद देनी चाहिए थी वो हमें नहीं मिल रही है। क्या पंजाब के किसान को उस तरह की मदद मिल रही है सरकारों से जो उसको मिलनी चाहिए? आर दे गेटिंग द काइंड ऑफ सपोर्ट दैट दे आर गेटिंग? बिकॉज वन ऑफ द की रीजंस, मिस्टर खुराना, दैट हरियाणा इज एबल टू डू वेरी वेल is because they are getting the state government support.
See, that was my point only. When Haryana government can do and Haryana's farmers can do, why not Punjab government and Punjab farmers can't do? I mean, I'll give you a small example. 498 crore rupees have been given by the center to the Punjab government for this particular problem which Chaudhary is saying. But till now, only 38 crore rupees have been spent till date. 460 crore rupees is still gone lapse. So who is responsible? What I'm saying, we need a visionary people who can take the things forward from there, solve the problem, not blaming to others. The problem is with the Delhi and the Punjab government is only they know how to blame others. They don't want to have a solution, not even long term, not even short term also.
All right, Akil Khan, who is a political analyst, is also joining us on the broadcast. Akil ji, Aam Aadmi Party has been skirting responsibility around this entire issue. They said if we were elected to power in the state of Punjab, we will stop the problem of stubble burning. And we have seen that in the last 5 to 6 years, there was so much political blame game between the Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress. When they are in power, they have completely failed to do their bit, and the numbers are a testimony of this.
Madam, if you see the nationwide problem, the environment minister is absent from everywhere. There is nobody, and Modi ji, I don't know whether what he is doing. He is not knowing the spelling of cooperation, coordination. This is such a big problem internationally. You see, all over India, this is a big problem. The drought is there, and then flood is there, and there are so many other problems coming up there. But I think they have made Arvind Kejriwal the Prime Minister of India. He has to do everything for every
Nobody is holding Arvind Kejriwal responsible for a drought or a bridge collapse. Everybody is asking Arvind Kejriwal the questions when it comes to the problem of stubble burning, because it is his party which is in power in the state of Punjab and in the national capital.
How many years he is in power?
And
only
what was the
6 months,
statement?
only 6 months.
And what was the statement that was made when they wanted to come to power in Punjab? That give us few months, we will do away with the problem of stubble burning.
You see, 6 months. Now they have taken up the matter, and the things is going on very well. You see, there are so many problems in Punjab for so many years. This parali burning is not now. It has been there for many, many years. So these are the numbers
I'm going to quote you. Between September to 15th October 2021, there are about 13,000 instances that were reported of stubble burning. In the same period this year, there are about 16,000 instances of stubble burning that have come up. In the last week alone, 70% instances of stubble burning have been reported. What is the government doing?
I don't know. Is there any magic band? You can do it very quickly for many years.
No, you can at least bring it down. The only expectation which was there from the Aam Aadmi Party is that the numbers should come down.
Madam, let me. I have been an environmental engineer in a multinational company. I know the real problems where it is.
Yeah.
You see, parali burning is a big problem because of that parali burning. Delhi pollution is increasing like anything. And in Delhi, there was so many other factors which was contributing to big pollution in Delhi. That was power problem, and there's so many places, in so many offices, you will have to use DG sets, and then so many other things, and that were making pollution. This is all vanished. And when in Delhi odd even was introduced, there's so many, all BJP people have come out as if there is a big disaster was done
and a lot
by,
of us had
by
even
Arvind
supported
Kejriwal.
it.
You see,
A lot of us had even supported it.
They must cooperate with the governments, respective governments.
Okay.
And I tell you, in Punjab, Man Sahab has categorically and commitment he has made that okay.
No, commitment is fine,
by
but at least the
next year
numbers should have come down.
by
At least
next
the
year
instances that were reported
we
last
will be
year,
able to
there
solve
should have
most
been a
of these
marginal
problems.
drop in the number of instances, and perhaps we would have not questioned the Aam Aadmi Party in the way and manner we are questioning right now. Mr. Khurana, you want to come in? Please go ahead.
Just a single line question to Mr. Akil Khan. वो घोल बनाया था पिछले साल कहाँ गया? पंजाब में क्यों नहीं दिया? इतना सा जवाब दे दीजिए बस.
बताइए खान साहब, वो जो घोल की बात हो रही थी, वो घोल कहाँ गया? वो यूज क्यों नहीं हुआ?
Just please repeat the question.
There was a particular chemical that the Aam Aadmi Party had said, which they had developed with the Pusa Institute, and said we can use it instead of burning the stubble. Where is that solution?
Of course, that is being used in Delhi, but everywhere you cannot use it.
Punjab.
There is a, you
I'm
see,
talking Punjab.
I tell you, there
I'm
are so
talking about
many things. I tell you, Mr. Khurana, tell me what the environment minister has done for so many years. Only Punjab, we have come 6 months ago, and you are all blaming Aam Aadmi Party. I tell you what our Prime Minister has been doing, such a big problem of environment, such a big problem of pollution. What
the
we were
only
doing.
way,
And
the
what
only
we
way,
have
Mr.
done,
Akil Khan,
what we have
the
done,
union
you
government,
see, in the beginning we have controlled, but you see, farmers, they have to see their crop first, and in all over India,
right.
Punjab is producing the highest.
This is
this
indeed
year.
a kind of a disaster for the north of the country, not just for the national capital. Of course, the way Delhi suffers, no other city in the country or perhaps in the world suffers, and we need long-term solutions.
Arvind Kejriwal
Political
has
accountability has to be
said
sought, sir, not bickering. Thank you so much.
Cooperation is needed.
Thank you so much, Mr. Akil Khan, Dr. Mohsin Wali, Mr. Harish Khurana, Vimlendu Jha, and Chaudhry Pushpendra Singh, gentlemen, for joining us on the show.